And welcome. Look right here. Hey, little girl. Look over here. That's my girl. You my good girl? You good girl? Zenru? No pretty teeth? Love you. Anyway, welcome to another Nurdy Collective. And as we're calling this again, you got an opening today, and it's aquarium related. So the Aquarium Corner. Make sure you check that out on my YouTube on the Nurdy Collective. You'll see it down there in the links down below. And I'll have post links to this gentleman as well. And this is the guy we're going to talk about again. I apologize, guys. Mr. Father Fish, Natural Aquariums. So perfect timing. So I got off early today, so I'm a little bright and bushy-tailed now. Got home a little this afternoon, and which is kind of nice because today was a perfect temperature. It was 35 degrees out instead of minus 13, which was 2 days ago. So it warmed up. So they must have known that and been waiting for this since the middle of December. And because holidays were really busy, they postponed it and waited. So I really appreciate it, Mr. Father Fish, big time. So I got this nice box. Got this box from him today. This is kind of a cool box. So this is the start. And what should be in here is 5 shrimp, 5 red cherry shrimp. They're going to be going into the 10-gallon over there in that Natural Aquarium bio load that I put up there. I am posting a video as well down in the links down below to Phil's Fish Works. Make sure you check him out. His links will be down there below with Father Fish. What's really cool, you guys, on Shopify and even on Father Fish, just Father Fish, you can look it up and go to his website, and he's got live plants, invertebrate snails, stuff like that, and lots of plants. So if you ever want to start your plants at a very reasonable cost, a lot of them are babies and some of them are adults, depending on what you order, but you get a good deal. So in this box, which is awesome because I got a really great, this is a cool sticker, Father Fish. How'd you know I was a hippie? I love that. That is really cool. I'm gonna have to put that on one of my cups. I think I'm gonna put that on my cup right there. You know what? We're gonna put that on the cup. So the next time you see it and I'm drinking out of this cup, you'll see it on there. That's cool. So I got another sticker, a really cool sticker. So very, very cool. Thank you, Father Fish. Really appreciate it. And a big thank you to Brenda as well, because Brenda helps him out. And he's getting some new help that's coming in pretty soon. If you didn't watch his show from last night on Wednesday, he's getting some new help. So congratulations. He also made a milestone on Shopify. It was, I forgot what it was. It was a million orders, I think it was. So congratulations. And very satisfied customers. So here we go. So in this list that we have today, we have 5 Neurocaridina mixed colored shrimp. We have some hornwort, which I need because I'll probably divide that hornwort up into a couple tanks. Because once you get it up and it's going to be a floating plant, it'll just keep producing. Then I got 4 swords, micro swords. They're a little bit smaller and they're hardy. They'll bush out on the bottom. So they're shorter instead of the longer ones, which is really cool. And then I know a lot about duckweed, and duckweed is really good for your aquarium, but it multiplies. If you do the science on the multiplication factors of duckweed when it grows on your tank, it's great for the tank. It cleans your water out, but it reproduces extremely fast, and you're constantly taking it out. You know, it's leaving some duckweed in there, but it's good for the tank. It really is substantially, but it's just a nuisance. And what it winds up doing is it will fill up the entire top of your tank and block out the light. And you want the light to hit your other plants. Not saying duckweed's not important. It is a very good thing because it's good for the cycling of your tank, keeps your fish alive and happy, gives them a little shade. You can also put rings, like rubber rings on top of your tank, and let the duckweed just go around the outside. That works too, if you want to leave light coming through at least. But on an alternative thing of that, this is something I do know of, and it's called water lettuce. Sorry. And the word I couldn't get out on the Friday show that I did one at 7 o'clock at night. I did a premiere. I couldn't say acclimate. So there, it was called acclimating. So when you get fish or anything in a bag with water in it. I'm kind of a little different about that. I'll leave the other unless it's meant to all go in your tank. If it's fish or shrimp or something, I'll take that bag and float it in the water for about 15 minutes to if it's fish or shrimp, they'll stay in there for about a half hour, just so the temperature acclimates to the same temperature of your tank. You don't want to just throw them in there right away, or you're going to shock the animals and that will kill them. So you want to slowly let that temperature hit them so they gradually come. And then what I do is if it's live animals like fish or shrimp, I'll take that and have a bucket next to me, and I'll add the tank water in there after they've acclimated the temperature with the bag and the water has turned the same temperature as your tank. Then I'll cut the bag, take a bucket, and I'll pour that water in the bucket in a little bowl I'll have, not bucket, excuse me, and I'll put some tank water in there, and then I will fish them out with a little net and take it and put it in the aquarium. The reason why I do this, you do you, but this is the reason why I do this, and it's just a suggestion. Not saying that Father Fish's tanks are not immaculate and natural. I believe it, but it's just a precaution. It's always to be cautious, even when you're buying other fish or buying plants from other places. I hear a lot of complaints when people buy plants that all of a sudden they got snails everywhere. Well, what did you do wrong? When you opened up your box, which I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you something. It's something I do, and I will take the plants out and put them in a bucket or a bowl. I'll bring them to the kitchen sink, and I'll look at them in the magnifying glass, literally the magnifying glass or a lens, and go through them. If I see any like the real nuisance bladder snails, or if I see ram horn snails, I don't particularly like those snails because they multiply and they get to be a nuisance. Unless you have something that can take care of it, which I don't have any loaches in those tanks, and I don't really want loaches in those tanks, the ones that I'm running right now. But long story short, and I'll go through and rinse them off and look at the plants to see if there's any snails or anything like that. People don't do this. They kind of like, you're running too fast. Patience. And there we go. Part 2. Editing. Thank you, Father Fish. So there's the sticker. And another thing I forgot to mention was an additive that I bought from Father Fish that I recorded on a Friday show, or on a Friday pre-recorded premiere I did at 7 o'clock this Friday. This is the additive. I forgot to mention show you the additive when I was doing the recording. So part 2, here we go. So in that 10-gallon tank you've seen on the recording, here's the supplement. And what this supplement is the supplement packs. You have received the contents of 13 natural ingredients that include the diversity of prolong the life of your substrate. This prevents mineral depletion and allows time for your natural aquarium to fully cycle. So it's got all of this can do up to 100 gallons, this whole bag can. And I already have another bag of this. I bought 2 bags of it. And it's got I know what the supplements or the recipe is of this, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to go look it up on Father Fish's site. He has it floating around out there. And if he's nice enough, which I'm pretty sure he will, if you ever see him on his live show and ask him, he'll give you directions of where you can buy this on his website. And it's really reasonable, guys. And for what this does, this packs a punch for your natural aquarium. I myself, I do gardening, so I garden a lot, and I've got a lot of different plants, and this stuff is fantastic. I know what's in this. I know what he put in this, but I also added a couple of my secret powerful weapons to this. I'm not going to tell you what they are. It's my secret, but this will sustain your tank very well when you add soil. So you'll buy some. You'll have soil. You can go get soil out of your yard if you want. Just make sure it doesn't have any pesticides or anything on it. Or you can go to the hardware store or the and buy potting soil that doesn't have any fertilizers. Try to keep the fertilizers out of it. That's, that's, like I said, do you, but I wouldn't do that. Regular garden soil, potting soil without any additives, the organic stuff, which is better. And then some kind of compost, either your own compost out of your yard or compost that you can buy in a bag. They actually sell compost, worm castings, you name it. Just don't want it to be rich, fresh fertilizer like cow poop or horse poop, manure, okay, because that's too strong. It hasn't broken down yet. When you smell dirt or earth or soil and you smell it, it smells fresh. It smells like it's a wonderful thing. So anyway, that's what you want. And then you get the compost, and then you can buy a bag of peat moss. Now I know they sell the peat mosses in the big bricks. I think that's pretty standard. I haven't seen it in smaller bags, peat moss, without having vermiculite or something in it. You don't want anything in the peat moss. You want the peat moss to be totally organic, dry. It comes in big, dry bales, but you can use it for other things. So anyway, so it's like, it's here. I'll tell you what it is right now. So for like let's say you're gonna do okay. Let's say you're gonna do 10 gallons, like a 10-gallon tank. You need 2 cups of this. So you take 2 cups of this additive, 2 parts peat moss, 1 part soil, and 1 part compost, and then 1/4 of the supplement. I just said that incorrectly, so I apologize. I'm reading it. He's got the examples on the side. So it's, again, repeat, 2 parts peat moss, 1 part soil, 1 part compost, 1/4 of a cup of the supplement, and then you add that put that in the tank, and then you add your water, your RO water, or I would use treated water. So if you treat your water, and just make it kind of like a mud consistency on the bottom of your tank. You're going to have like 1 inch of this soil on the bottom, and make it like kind of muddy, like mud, not real wet, but muddy. Pat it around the corners, keep the dirt off the sides of your tank. And then I would suggest letting it sit for 24 hours. Patience. I'm going to say this again. Be patient with yourself. The reward will be so much better in the end. Trust me on this. Just out of experience. Let it sit for 24 hours. That way all the gas, any gas or anything like that in the water, it can settle. Then when that's done, after 24 hours, the very next day, take 2 inches of sand. You can take play sand, like regular play sand. It's pretty much sterile, and it's made for kids' parks and stuff, but it's called play sand or pool sand. You can use that and fill 2 inches right on the top. Just put it on the top, smooth it around so it's 2 inches all on the top of you, on the bottom, and you're ready to rock and roll. Then you take your treated water, put a bowl in there, hold the bowl over the sand, take your other jugs of water or whatever you're going to use, and fill that bowl with water so the water overfills and slowly fills the sand. You don't want to pour the water on top of the sand. You're going to make a hole, and then you're going to have dirt everywhere in the tank. You don't want that. Just put a bowl in there, pour the water in the bowl, and it fills up the tank, and that's how you go. That's there. So I said that. So kind of retracking, that's the supplement. You can find that on Father Fish's website. It's a great, wonderful stuff. And if you know anything about Terra Parapetra down in South America, the South American jungle of its soil composition in some places, not everywhere, it's amazing stuff. Go look it up. It's an interesting thing. Something I think we're all forgetting as farmers and stuff, but it's cool. So let's get back to this unboxing. So with the unboxing, then we got some, I was talking about, before I got sidetracked with that, I was talking about duckweed. And the other thing I got as an alternative is I'm using pond water lettuce. And these are clusters. They actually look like little lettuce balls, okay? But they stay compact. They will multiply, but it takes them a long time to shoot out and open up. But they have a long root system, so they clean the water, it grows the plant, It's good for the fish. The fish can hide, or the macrofauna can hide, and you can control a little bit better. That's why I got the lettuce. And I got 2 of those. So 2 of those, 4 swords, they're shorter growth. Then hornwort, which I want floating on top of the water, which I'm going to divide into another tank. That's easy to reproduce. You use the light. It's great for the fish to hide out. It's great for the babies to hide out. The shrimp will like it. Everything pretty much like it. Your microfauna that you seeded the tank, I seeded those. So you've seen that video. So if you haven't seen that video, links will be down below. And then 5 shrimp. So, and then what's cool about Father Fish always gives you instructions if you've got questions or you're wondering. Tells you about plant groups, plant stems, rooted plants, plant bulb plants, all of them. And it's got his website and everything there, his YouTube and his Discord. I'm going to have to check out Discord. I'm kind of old, so I remember Father Fish talking about us old guys. I haven't got my head wrapped around Discord, and a lot of my buddies that have tried, they've said the same thing. It's really weird, but I am going to learn it because I know a lot of people that are on Discord, especially in my community as well. And then on the other second page, the Natural Aquarium Aquascaping. So basically he gives you some examples. He talks about deep substrate, talks about dead leaves and microinhabitants. And this will basically, and then plant varieties and floating plants. So basically everything I just said, boom, gives you an example, and he gives you an example of exactly what's happening in your natural setup. Trust me, when you get to this part, you guys, you're gonna feel very accomplished, and it's really nice when you might have had a stressful day, just like when you come home and you see your puppies with dogs and cats or birds or whatever it may be. You come home and you sit down and you want to relax, have your beer, have a glass of wine, have a water, just sit back and look at your tanks, whether they're 125, 200 gallon, 30 gallon, 10 gallon, doesn't matter. And you look at it and you see the fish that you just got or the shrimp that you got or whatever it may have been. And then all of a sudden you see things happening. It's very entertaining, and it's almost better than watching TV. Didn't say I don't like watching TV. Everybody does like watching their shows, but that's any day. This is something a little bit different. It's good for your heart, it's good for high blood pressure, all of that stuff. And it's a word of accomplishment. So enough of me yabbing. So what we're going to do here is it's really nicely packed. He's got this packed of styrofoam. Like I said, perfect day to get this because the temperature was perfect out. And oh my goodness. And just so you know, it is still warm. Heat pack is still warm. So you had a heat pack on top. And we are looking. All right. There we go. Let's see here. All right. Then we got nice wrap of plants. Oh, fix this. Sorry. Some of those micrograss, water, lettuce. There we go. And there's that hornwort. It's real thick. Cloppill. You just throw it on top of the water. Hi, G-Man here again. So to show you what I do, I'm cleaning those plants that I got from Father Fish. Here's an example. And this is the water. This is what the water lettuce looks like. And what I do is take warm water out of the tap. It's about the same temperature as my aquarium. I'll dechlorinate this water the plants are sitting in. So what I'm looking for are any snails hiding out on the back. You look at the back of the plant like this. I'm looking for plants. You see the root masses are really nice. Nothing there. So far, this one is pretty clean. See, that's a water lily. That's what a water lilies looks like. It almost looks like duckweed, but it's not the same thing. Duckweed is a little smaller, and it's a different plant, different kind of a plant. So gone through that. It looks pretty decent. That will go in the 10 gallon, the 30 gallon, and the 125 I've got sitting in there. So it's going to be divided up a little bit in there. It will multiply on its own. It'll get enough nutrients out of the water, but it'll clean the water. So there you go, guys. There's that. And then we'll go with some more. Now here's the micro sword. As I can show you, I go with it through a magnifying glass. It's hard to see with this. You can get a lot of reflection. But I want to show you something. Look at that right there. Right there. Right there. And it's not Father Fish's fault, you guys. This is something I do even if I buy plants from anywhere else. Here's an example. This right here, this is a ram. It looks like a ram horn snail. It is. They're a little curly cool. You see that? And then bladder snails kind of look like a piece of pasta. If you look at different kinds of pasta, they look like a piece of pasta. With a half shell, like a half shell piece of pasta. This is a ram horn snail, though. It's got the ram horn style. These can be a real nuisance. They can breed like crazy, but I just remove them. I take them out, put them on the side. Now, as you can see, this is a short variety of sword, micro sword. I don't have and it's a hardy plant. It's in bunches. Lililopolis Brazilianacelis. That was the scientific name, which I hate pronouncing. It sounded, I probably butchered it all up. So what I do is separate the grass. This water has been treated with dechlorinator. So there's a little bit. If you're wondering about my dechlorinator, I've used this for years. So in 25 to 30 years I've been doing aquariums, I use Prime. It's more expensive, but it works really well. And I only use it to treat my water. I trust this brand, and that's what I've been using. Now, I got that from my old mentor, but this is a great stuff. It's called Prime. It's a dechlorinator, detoxifies. I don't use it to treat the water, just the water I treat to fill my tanks. When I take top off my tanks, I use that. And I use this little micro dropper in this amount just to dechlorinate it, because I'm going to be sticking these plants in right away. As soon as I go through them, make sure they're good. No more debris. I see there's a little bit, not a big deal. I can see some of that. It always, there's another snail. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. I was just talking about it. That right there. Let me get a good picture of it. I'll put it on my, let's get a close up of this. Let's go the other way. Wait for my thing to clear up. Clear up. There we go. That is a bladder snail. There's your definition. Okay? Kind of looks like a piece of pasta. Think of a piece of pasta, but a little bit bigger. These can be a real nuisance. You put one in there, two in there, they will multiply and invade your entire tank. Now, these guys are not the greatest with plants or with algae. They'll eat algae, but they'll eat your plants as well. They're kind of a nuisance. They're a real pest. So right away, when I see them, I take them right out. And they won't go anywhere. Unfortunately, if there's anybody out there who's against me killing bladder snail or ramhorn snail, I apologize. I don't have any other animals that I could feed that to. I wish I could. But I'm going to sort this and go through that. So right here, this was the hornwort. Oh, sorry, not hornwort. This is the sword, the micro sword. So that's going to be built. I'm going to dig that, put that down in the substrate. And we'll go on from here. So there you go. All right. Okay. Now this here is the hornwort, hardy hornwort. Now, just so you guys know, you see how clean this is now? This took 4 times. 4 times to rinse. I rinsed them, cleaned them, dumped them, threw out the excess that I didn't want. And here's the only things I picked out. There's like 4. There was 2 ram horns, and there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're still alive. Those bladder snails, and they move fast. I can't believe how fast they move. That's what's sitting right there. So I took those out, and a real cool shout out to Father Fish as well. While I was going through this and cleaning it, so I can just show you what this kind of looks like. So this is a floating plant. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is hornwort. This is great stuff. It's good for the water cycle. It cleans the water. Animals can hide in it. Shrimp can hide in this. Fish love hiding in this. And it helps with cycling your aquarium. Now, I cleaned this up pretty good. There was a lot of this right here. And that's not, you guys, this is just me. Father Fish is fine with me. There's a lot of duckweed floating around, a lot of green debris floating around. So that's what you'll see right there. And it was packed because he grabbed the clumps of it on the top of the water, like where it should be. And that's not his fault, but that's like duckweed. That's what I'm getting out of there, the excess duckweed. I don't want the duckweed in my tank. I just don't want it. And I don't want those as well. So not too bad out of, what was it? It was 4, 5, 6 plants. Not too terrible, and that's all good. If you want the snails, put them in your tank. I don't want those particular snails in there. I'm more of a nyrite snail. And everybody says they lay eggs all over the place. Well, if you keep the water adequate, and I haven't had a problem with nyrite snails, and I've been using them forever. And usually when they lay eggs, it's lay eggs on top of the water. You just scrape it out with a razor blade. And they can't reproduce anyway without having the right type of blackest salt water. The eggs won't hatch. But when it comes to mystery snails, apple snails, that's the same, kind of different. They'll lay their egg hatches on top of the tank. But anyway, enough of that, kind of blabbing. But as you can see, that's been pretty cleaned up. And I've actually went through this just to show you that I do use an old-fashioned magnifying glass. So I went through a lot of this under the light. It took a good, I don't know, half hour. Yeah, OCD, guys, can't help it. But the cool thing, though, I was going to say, Father Fish, there was a scud in here. He was swimming around. Scuds look like little miniature shrimp. They're microscopic. I was able to save him. I threw him in the 10-gallon tank with the other scuds that I got the other day. So that goes to show you guys, it's living, it's surviving. He's got his microorganisms in his tanks, his ponds, the pond that he uses, and his other plant tanks. He's doing it naturally, and this is the best way, you guys, you can do it. This is just one little step I do, because I hear so many people complaining about snails. I got snails all over the place. This is a way of, if you wish, do what I did. Rinse them out, clean them out, investigate it. Go through the whole thing. Something you don't want in there, take it out. It's your tank. It's the way you set it up, the way you want it. And that's just me. I've done this for years, and it's just a habit. And it's a good habit to have, you guys. That way you're not, putting any kind of bad things in your water. And it, like I said, you never know. You never know. So just to be on the safe side. For all you people who complain and before doing your research, this is, hope I took this step out and I could show you exactly what you can do. But look at that. Beautiful. I love this hornwort. This hornwort's going to come in handy. And this will reproduce like crazy. This stuff reproduces like crazy. You can actually find a lot of this in the wild lakes up here. I've seen this in the lakes like crazy, but it's great stuff. And so there's that part. And not too bad out of all the plants, just that little pile of snails, bladder snails and ramhorn snails. Not a big deal. Just take them out and ding. Then there's those. So this is from 3 months ago. That was the mud substrate. That's the dirt and the supplement. That's what the tank looked like. It was cloudy. For a couple of weeks, it was cloudy like that. Just took a little time to clear up. Added some fish. I have a bunch of guppies and the snails. As you can see, the water's starting to clear up, a little bit of greener. Now it's cleaner. There's the 10-gallon. Doing very well. And the snails are breeding. They actually laid some eggs. I did some shorts with the video of that. Some neons, mollies. And that's a red tail molly, but I can't remember the name of it. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. I had them with the neons for a little bit, and then I took them out. They're in the 30-gallon long now. The snail's back at it again. Busy, busy. And this is a beautiful blue turquoise gourami that I got. I had to have it. And he's in the 30-gallon long. He's the big boss. Welcome back. Okay, let's finish this video. There we go. Father Fish, there he is. All right. Now, while I was talking about the plants earlier, I cleaned them. So I put them in this video as well. And I show you why I do that, because my OCD, I gotta check the plants. And I did find some snails in it. It's not a big deal. It just comes with the territory. It's for all you people out there who complain about having all of a sudden a bunch of snails because you bought a bunch of plants from somewhere or got them at a pet store or whatever. You got to do your due diligence and clean them. Go through the sink in a bowl, clean them off, look at them, see if there's anything in there you do not want. If you don't want those snails in there, take them out. Don't put them in there. And there was a couple bladder snails and a couple ramhorn snails. Not a big deal. But one real cool thing in the hornwort, Father Fish, it was really cool. In the hornwort, while I had them soaking in the water, I was taking all of the excess duckweed out of there because there was a lot of duckweed in there. Not a big deal. I was able to clean it out. Took 4 washes, excuse me, to rinse it out really good. Got it all out of there. And there was a scud swimming around in there. I didn't get it. I should have got it on video, but I did take that scud and take it out. I was actually able to get it out. Scuds look like little shrimp, and I put it in my 10-gallon, so it's in there with the other scuds, with the other microfauna. It's a good thing to have, you guys. It's kind of debatable with community. They either like them or don't like them. I like them. They do their do justice. But just to let you know, it goes to show you how natural his plants are. It's not a bad thing, you guys, so don't get that wrong. It's a good thing. It shows you how Father Fish has everything in the natural system. When you take stuff out of there, you're finding microfauna, you're finding the snails, you're finding whatever is in there. And if you don't want it in your tank, then don't put it in your tank. Do you. Do what makes comfortable. But it was cool to see the microfauna in there because that's a big plus, A+. So Father Fish, awesome. Brenda, thank you very much. So without further ado, let's end this video. And I'm going to bring you over here and I'm going to be talking kind of loud. And 2 seconds. There's some extra plants in there. There's some floating plants up there on top. Fish are very happy. Everything looks beautiful. Look at natural. That's after 3 months, guys. Check this out. So what we added in here, as you can see, I put some hornwort in there. There's some hornwort floating on top of the water. That's up on the top. That's going to multiply and regenerate the system. And then we got back there some of that, oh my goodness. We got hornwort and we got micro sword and we have 5 shrimp in there. And I got some pond water lettuce, which is on the top. As you can see, it's there. It's in the corner. And I put some more in this tank as well. Let it clear up for a second. There we go. Anyway, let's get back to this. So this is the Father Fish system. Bingo. There we go. The Father Fish system. And here's your natural aquarium. Now this is going on 3 months now. And now it's going to cycle some more. So you see all this muck on top of the rocks and stuff like that? Like right there, a little bit of there. All that is going to be eaten up by the shrimp and the microfauna that have been added to this tank. So a few days ago, I added some microfauna. Look at the shrimp. See that shrimp right there? Look at him. He's king of the hill. And the neons, they're not really bugging him at all. And let's see if we can find some more shrimp. There's a red one back there. He's eating on the dead leaf on the background. You see that? Look at that. There's another one back there. Starting to make their territories. Let's see if we can find any more. Look at that. See, he's going to clean that tree. He's going to clean that log off. See all that extra algae and stuff? He's going right to town. He's busy, busy. So see, you guys, these are your workers. Your workers. They're working. They're working. That's a natural way to do it. And my tank will even clear up even more than what you see here. During the day, you don't see the microfauna as much. Like the scuds, there's scuds in there. Trust me, there is. Look at this yellow one. There's a yellow one in here. Look at that. Little surprise. There's a yellow one. It's kind of yellowish red. Pretty, pretty. Thank you so much, Father Fish. Look at this. Look at this little one. Little one right there. Little tiny one right there. Busy, busy, busy. See, the fish don't care. It's nice too because it's only the neons. Hopefully they're a breeding pair. Again, like I said, one with the straighter blue line. There's the female. She's in the right with the arch. See the arch of the light blue? That's the female. Male have more of a straight line in their back. So you can see that. They might breed and they might not. Let's hope they do breed. If they bred, that would be great. But there's going to be competition because the shrimp might find them, and microfauna might find them and disturb the eggs. Look at that yellow one. He's happy camper. He is happy, 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 happy. He's going to clean those rocks off for me. Look at that. And seriously, guys, all you really need to do is just top the water off. I topped the water off today with fresh water. That's all I did. I didn't take any water out of here. And along with that, look at that. It looks almost invisible. He's just going to the top. Look at them check things out. They're happy. The shrimp are very happy. But that's very cool. And as you can see, that's when I started it. I catalog everything, so I write down things later on and keep track of things. There's a red shrimp right straight in the back. See him back there? He's right there. Yeah, shrimp are just busy, busy. Look at that. He's getting all that algae out the front. And the reason why I say 3 months, guys, okay, before you start adding more add plants as much as you can. This is for a 10-gallon, so I'm trying not to overwhelm it too much. But every once in a while, you'll see bubbles come up. That's natural CO2 coming up. And CO2 comes out of the environment as well. So when the plants get it, everything benefits from it. People use CO2. That's debatable as well. You can use CO2 and you want to get like your plants a big boost. That will help as well. If you really want to do that, that's on you. Do what makes you happy. I'm not going to tell you to do it otherwise. But look at that. Look at that yellow one. That golden one is really pretty. You see what I'm saying? Look at the life in this tank. And so what we got here, without yapping your ear off too much, so I let this system go for 3 months with the soil and everything. I put plants in there, a few plants here and there, those plants back there, over here, the Sprite, some grass. Started off slowly. Then I put some swords in the back. They're up in the back, those big long leaves you see back there. I put those in the back. And then the next step, after 3 months of that, it bloomed a couple times of green algae in here. And that's because I had the light on for what was it? Almost 12-hour days. And then all of a sudden started algae blooming. And you can see there's a little bit of algae on the back black wall. I made a black wall so you could actually see what's going on. And then it had a big bloom. It got real cloudy and green. Turned the light off for like 2 days. So if you have that problem, turn the light off for 2 days. Don't use any light. And after 2 days, it will clear up. Now, here's the bonus. Little secret number 1. Now, that won't happen again. And if it does, it's because I've had the lights on too long. That's number 1. And if it does, the algae will be in check because the microfauna that are in there, the little microscuds and the daphnia that are in there that you can't see, they usually come out at nighttime. It's hard to get nighttime shots because they are swimming around in there. I see it over here. I'll take a flashlight and look while the fish are kind of still. I don't know if fish sleep, but when they're pretty still, that to me, that's telling me they're resting, especially if the light's not bugging them. Look at that. That red shrimp is just going to town. Look how pretty that red is. Look at that. And so to continue on with what I'm saying is, let it clear up. There we go. Go across. There we go. There we go. Make sure you're getting all that. So if you do get, you should never get an algae bloom after that because everything else will keep it in check. Now, if the microfauna gets out of control, one thing I've noticed with the neons in the last few days, I put the microfauna in here about 3 days ago or so. That's with these seeds and the dead leaves. You can take dead leaves out of your yard and put them in there without going too much, saying too much here. Microfauna will hide in there and that will break down. They'll break that down. The microfauna, the microscopic organisms, and the Daphnia that look like shrimp, they actually look like little tiny shrimp, like these big shrimp. They're only like a centimeter long, you guys, these shrimp. They're real small. Hopefully they reproduce. I gave them a little hiding spot in case if they want to feel secluded, but they're already happy. They're already happy. I can tell you that now. Look at this. Look at this. He's on the feeding tube. They're making themselves at home big time. There was some CO2 that just went up. Some more CO2 went up. And now this is a natural system, meaning that it will biologically keep going. Keep going. These plants will grow. So your maintenance number one, when the plants get out of control and they get to be too much, that's what you got scissors for. Get in there, learn how to use these scissors. These are scissors. Get in there and just cut them off. If they bug you or something doesn't look right, look at that. He's cleaning that plant already. And that's what I've been waiting for. So basically what I did after 3 months is I got a built up of algae, a built up of good bacteria, built up of threw in some dead leaves, threw in some microfauna to give it a nice start, a really good start. You just have to be patient. Be patient. You don't want to throw it all in at once and then expect it to work because it's going to look terrible and you might lose some fish or lose some organism at the same time. So you kind of be patient. If you're patient, it will pay off. Now, sometimes the algae might build up on the screen, on the glass on the front. Just clean it off. Take a scraper. I got a little scraper. Looks like something like this. I can just go across the glass and just scrape it off. Done. But anyway, I'm very happy and very pleased with this. And big shout out to Dana, uh, Dana and Father Fish that do the show together. Those guys are great. You guys are fantastic. And Dana, don't change your name. I like the name as well. And at the same time, big shout out to Father Fish and Brenda. Brenda, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is a very happy customer. I hope you guys out there in the community check this out. I'll have other links down below. I have links to his site as well, where you can order stuff if you want. But I'll tell you, I'm really satisfied with this. This is beautiful. Me and my little dog, Zen, will sit here. My wife, she'll come down here and look. Look at the snails are busy, busy, busy. Over there in the corner. They've been busy, busy, busy. And there's actually some eggs up on the top. So those mystery snails have laid eggs up there. So I have mystery snails. Reason why you'll hear me earlier talk about snails. Mystery snails, I like in my own preference. I like mystery snails and nyrate snails because majority of the time they're eating dead matter. You'll see a mystery snail like on that plant right there. See him over there? He's on that plant. He's right there on the plant. He's not eating the plant. He's eating the dead matter that's on it, or maybe the algae he's eating. He's a grazer. But yeah, this is really cool. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that shrimp. Look how pretty that shrimp is. Look at it's busy already. It is cleaning away. I love it. I'm loving it. I love the color too, Father Fish. Absolutely gorgeous. You actually got a gold one in there. There's a more of a green caridina, like almost green color. You had a mixture in here. Just letting you know. Look at that. He's cleaning up already. He's back there on the grass. He's already happy, making his home. And the neons look pretty mellow now. The neons have mellowed out now. Ever since I put plants in here, they got more places to hide. They're more chill and relaxed. They're actually coming up to the front of the aquarium instead of hiding all the time, almost mimicking their natural environment. The one thing that's missing probably for the neons is they're found in South America, and they like blackish water. So there's more, the blackish water, what that means is the water is more tinted with the like kind of like a tannin that usually comes from wood. I already treated my wood. I actually boiled it before I put it in here, but I did that like, man, months and months ago before I put it in here. And I let natural system build up on it. So there's actually microbiology going on there. There's all this stuff. There's algae, everything. Look at the plant. Look at the shrimp back there cleaning. He's just eating away. And they'll keep, there's your natural maintenance. So you talk about tanks are so hard to keep up. Nope, it's not. When you learn this and how to do this and what you can see and all the stuff you can see that's going on here, this is what better than almost watching TV. It really is. It's beautiful. So hope you guys like, look at that. Look at that. Busy, 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 busy. Ah, look, he found his little home. Hopefully he uses it. We'll see. Nice size. He's pretty too. It's really pretty. But I will give you updates as this progresses. I might do a couple of live feeds where you just watch the aquarium and watch what's going on and see what I'm talking about. While you're reading a book or doing your homework, I'll do some live videos and just have this on and you can watch it. I think it's really cool. But anyway, thank you so much, Father Fish. Father Fish and Brenda, I appreciate it. You know, this is where to go. Don't forget to check us out. Hope you guys every Saturday. Nurdy Colective is on at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's pretty much nerd talk about anything you want to talk about. Most of the time it's about comic books or about movies. The community, you all are welcome, even in the fish community. If you're interested in anything like that, please come over and say hi. Come check us out. I think you'll have a good time. The community is welcome. I have my normal panelists that come on every Saturday, the wonderful bunch of guys. Deuce, Monty, Chris, Martin, Papa, oh my goodness, Bleeker, who else? I'm forgetting somebody. I'm forgetting something. The host at the most, Deuce. And sometimes we got Cookie on, but the community is welcome. I really appreciate it. Everybody else does as well. And I hope you like this. This is the G-Man's Aquarium Corner. This will be down in the links down below. I'll have everything down below, even where I got the microfauna from. And yeah, all that good stuff. So hope you guys really liked. And with that said, the Father Fish looks like a hippie now. You gotta love it. He looks like he's got a bandana. People are gonna ask me now. So yeah, I'm starting something. Anyway, love you guys. Peace, love, blessed be, and be good to one another. Awesome. Adios, guys.